A woman's body has been pulled from floodwater in Derbyshire as parts of northern England were deluged by a month's worth of rain in just 24 hours. The flooding caused widespread disruption, with people trapped overnight in their cars, in shopping centres and even fast food restaurants. Emergency services have been rescuing people throughout the day as floodwaters continued to rise. Tonight, 6 severe flood warnings, meaning a danger to life, remain in place along the River Don, which has hit its highest recorded level. Damon Green now on the chaos and the clean-up.
All the rain, all the flood warnings, and still, when the river burst its banks, people were caught by surprise, wading from their homes and workplaces in Doncaster, rescuing what they could in anything watertight enough to keep the river out. Anything precious had to be rescued because the waters were still rising.
Lost everything. Washer, dryer, cooker, everything. And all because we didn't get a warning.
The floods were already a foot deep and more by the time a lorry arrived with sandbags for the homes in this neighbourhood. Residents resorting to any means to get enough of them to make a difference. But for some, this effort was too little and too late.
They knew about this 2 days ago. Look everywhere you look, there's water. Why have they not made an attempt to drop sandbags off so we can even help ourselves?
Already the floods have proved deadly. In Derbyshire, a woman's body has been recovered from the River Derwent after she was reported missing. The rains, which have swollen so many rivers in the north of England this week, some to the highest levels ever recorded, have proved impossible to manage. Last night, the waters of the River Don overtopped the flood defences in the city of Sheffield, and from that moment, everywhere downstream was under threat and liable to be flooded. Dozens of people had to spend the night in the Meadowhall shopping centre, and dozens more in the shops of a Rotherham retail park, where the rising waters had stranded them.
Abandoned like this, in the middle of nowhere, can't get home to families, children. It's very dangerous.
This morning the floods had barely receded and still covered a vast area in the centre of this South Yorkshire town. This man was brought out of his car by rescue workers from Greater Manchester, who'd helped recover over 100 people.
I got to a roundabout just about there, and then our cars were just stuck, and I tried to turn back on myself to come back this way, and obviously I just couldn't make it because of the flooding, so I just ended up having to spend the night there.
But the floodwaters, which had been over 8 feet deep at one stage, have left lasting damage.
The dining table's up there.
Andy's lived in this house all his adult life. The flooding, he says, is getting worse.
I think it is, yeah.
They say it's a once-in-a-lifetime event. And
that's what they said in 2007. It'll not happen again. Here it is.
It may take days for water levels to recede, and even once they do, the damage and the pollution contained in that water could take far longer to clear away. Damon Green, ITV News in South Yorkshire.